Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the film Alien Romulus, directed by Fede Alvarez. So I was quite excited about a new Alien movie. Overall, I really like this franchise, so I have always looked forward to a new one. And I thought the trailer for Alien Romulus looked very promising. I've gone into every Alien film with really high expectations. Alien and Aliens are two of my favourite films. I think each of them has different strengths. You could possibly go as far as saying that they're different genres, but both are fantastic films. I'm not sure that this really is true, but it feels like the next four films after Alien and Aliens have gradually gone downhill, my enjoyment of each one decreasing with each release. I took the opportunity of the new film being released to watch all of the 6 previous Alien films, and I'm really glad that I did. I did have a somewhat better experience than I was expecting. I have quite a lot to say about this, so I've made a separate video commenting on all the films of the Alien franchise. I was excited to see that Alien Romulus was setting out with the aim of more connecting with the original, with a focus on practical sets and puppets rather than CGI. So, I've actually seen the film twice. As usual with any Alien film, I started off being disappointed because it isn't as good as Alien or Aliens. Of course, this is kind of ridiculous because Alien and Aliens are a very high bar to match. Maybe it's just not possible. This is why I needed to see it a second time, and I did enjoy it a lot more the second time, but I do have some mixed views on it. Let's start with what's good about the film. As a thought experiment, imagine seeing Alien Romulus as a standalone film. It's a perfectly respectable kind of space horror film. The sets and special effects are really good. Once the fighting starts, the action is pretty good. The aliens are amazing. I think this is as good as the aliens have ever looked. And for me, the most important thing in an alien film is to enjoy some really good xenomorph action. I also really appreciated the references to Alien and Aliens. I'm definitely not an alien nerd, so I probably missed a lot. But I did love the reference to Ripley's classic line in Aliens, "Get away from her, you bitch." I also loved the reference to Ash's line in Alien, "I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies." These things give me a lot of pleasure. That said, it doesn't really make any sense that Andy would say that classic Ripley line, given that this film is set between Alien and Aliens. This is actually before Ripley says it in the timeline. But I think I can forgive this. In fact, when I saw it for the second time, I really loved that line. I like the two main characters, Rain and Andy, despite all the characters being young, and this giving it the feel of kind of a group of adolescents being naughty and stealing a spaceship. I do think that Rain and Andy have potential if they're going to be in future films. I did have initial doubts about whether Rain could ever be as good as Ripley. However, I have the feeling that she possibly can. I'm sure that before the first Alien film, it would have been hard to imagine Sigourney Weaver being such an alien badass, but she fully developed into this great character. Perhaps Rain does have the same possibility. Kaylee Spaini plays the part really well. I really enjoyed both of her performances in Priscilla and Civil War. She's a really good actor and has done really well to get 3 such good parts. So why have I got mixed feelings about Alien Romulus? I thought the story was a bit limp and the characters weren't amazing. They felt like this group of adolescents doing something naughty and getting in trouble for it. When I got home after watching it the first time, I watched the first 20 minutes of the original Alien. Within that opening sequence, we have an amazing mood created in the spaceship, a really compelling group of characters with the personality of each already starting to be established. There's a really interesting story established right from the start, the need to investigate a distress call, There's a lot in that film. I don't think Alien Romulus has any of this sufficiently. It's a group of young people doing something they shouldn't and then encountering the aliens. There's no mystery, no intrigue. There isn't even really any creation of mood or suspense. To me, this just feels like an opportunity missed. This is a bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen it yet, but I can't decide what to think about Rook. I think overall I did like this, even though the actor's dead, so they had to use CGI. And he does look a bit like a hologram rather than having any physicality. Finally, I wasn't impressed at all by the half man, half alien. This just looked really stupid, I thought. However, when I saw Prometheus again, of course there is a likeness to some of the beings in that film. And given that I enjoy the cross-references between the films, I can appreciate this, and it is kind of intriguing. Overall, I was disappointed on the first viewing, although as I said, I'm always comparing the newer films against Alien and Aliens, which is an impossible standard to meet. But on second viewing, I really enjoyed it much more. I think just for the sheer enjoyment of how it looks, it was amazing on the big screen with the Dolby Atmos sound in Leicester Square. You can question whether we really need more Alien films. I think this is a legitimate question, and I think the answer probably is no, objectively. However, just for the sheer enjoyment of these films, I think there's always room for one more Alien film. And if you've enjoyed any of the films in the franchise, although Alien Romulus may be nowhere near the best, it is a highly satisfying contributor to the franchise, so I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.